Hey guys, welcome back to Figure. If you're brand new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Today we're going to take a look at S.H.Figuarts Guts, and this is the Berserker armor from Berserker, the anime or the manga. And honestly speaking, I don't know too much about this franchise. I heard about the stories, it's pretty dark, so I never really tried it. But over the years, I heard my friends talking about it and stuff, so I'm kind of familiar with the character despite not watching it. And here's the left of the box, here's the right of the box, and here's the back of the box, looking really cool. But I've heard there's a lot of QC issues with it already, so I don't know. Hopefully mine is fine. Yeah, let's check it out. And here's the figure still in there, and the packaging looking really good. My usual camera frame doesn't really fit because this box is really long, but yeah, looks pretty good, and let's check it out. Alright, and here we have the figure itself, and my first impression on this is honestly indifferent because I'm not a big fan when it comes to the series. I don't have any personal attachment to it, but I've always been a mediocre fan when it comes to the action figures though. Guts is a really cool character. I had some of the older Figma ones and I really like them. Those are really cool. But yeah, let me know in the comments on what you think, and let's just take a close look at the figure here. I think the paint job is really good for the most part, and it looks like he walked out straight from the anime. In terms of the proportion, I actually saw some images. He does look like this in certain angles, but I do feel like he could be a little bit more beefy. But yeah, let me know in the comments on what you think. And I've seen a lot of breakages online for the QC issues, especially the joints here. I got really lucky on mine and the knee joints, but yeah, it's really unfortunate this happens to a lot of people because this figure is really sought after, and I think they really have to fix the QC issues here. And also, I tried to play around with this figure, and it's one of those figure that is really hard to pose. He's really tight in some of the places that's not supposed to be tight, and really loose in some places not supposed to be loose. Like for instance, the knee over here, this is way too loose, and this is where a lot of people have it like break. So yeah, I'm gonna be extra careful with it, but I think without a stand, it's really hard to pose this guy. And with so much detail on him, and like this bag is in a way, and this little tiny thing over here, it is all articulated, but I don't know. This guy just doesn't feel that fun to pose with. I think that's partly because of the design, but yeah, you have to be really careful with it. And from action figure standpoint, it's a little bit of a pain. Consider you got like all these cool other S.H.Figuarts nowadays. But yeah, again, let me know in the comments on what you think, and let's check out the articulation. And for the articulation, let's quickly go over it from the neck down. He can move his head up. Wow, this is really tight. Yeah, I can move up about this much, and this is what I was saying earlier. He's super tight in places that's not supposed to be tight, and super loose in places that's not supposed to be loose. My neck is so tight that I don't want to like move it all too much, but yeah, he can look up about this much and look down about this much, and that's about as much as I want to move before I feel uncomfortable. And let me just take this piece off first so you guys can kind of see more articulation. And for the shoulder, we just have a really long ball joints over here. Maybe, no, I don't think there's any butterfly, right? Actually, no, I do think there's a tiny, yeah, there's a tiny bit of butterfly joints, and you can see this thing actually looks very similar to the Figma design, and this is on a softened material. You just have a really long ball pack there, so yeah, you're missing a little bit of muscle there, but it gives you more articulation, I guess. And for the bicep, yeah, see, like the bicep swivel is really tight, and it's annoying to move, but you do have bicep swivel, and you curl about this much. And I gotta be really careful here because there's a lot of breakages going on the internet. And for the wrist is a regular ball hinge wrist. And for the ab crunch, not sure if this is like soft material here, but again, I want to be really careful with this. Okay, so there's the sections over here. You can move up about this much. Oh, there's another layer over here. Okay, so yeah, it does give you quite a lot of articulation. Backwards about this much, move forward about only this much. Given that he's got armor, I think this is actually okay for the ab crunch. And then you do have some movement over here with the pouches and stuff, so that's okay. But like I talked about earlier, these are going to be a little bit hindering for sure. And for the leg, you do have the 2.0 hip, but with the armor pieces over here, even though this is on a softened material, it just doesn't feel that comfortable to move. He can kick up about this much, which is okay, bend about this much. Again, I feel like this joint should be a lot stronger, but I think maybe they loosen this because there's like breakages, right? But yeah, this piece over here specifically, I'm not sure if it's like the material or the temperature. A lot of people are having problem with this. And then for the leg, we have really nice ankle pivot, toe hinge, and all that good jazz. But yeah, there's no way for this leg to hold his sword and all that. Like it's impossible. The sword is way too big for his body, so I would recommend using a stage or like a stand 100%. And yeah, let's check out the accessories. And for the accessories, we can start with the default face he came with, and I think they definitely nailed it. Bandai has been really good at doing this on the new facial expression. You can actually tell, I think this is like 3D printed or something. Yeah, this guy's utilizing all the latest technology. Very cool. I like it. And next up, we get a teeth greedy angry face, and I think this is a pretty cool look. And the last one we got is a shouting face, and I think it looks great. And for the interchangeable hands, it is really straightforward. First of all, we get a pair of fists. And next up, we have a pair of hands to hold the Buster Sword, of course. And here is the sword, very nicely painted and sculpted. But unfortunately, this thing is still going to be too heavy for his body. But really, what can they do, right? Like, this thing is just really cool. And yeah. And lastly, we have the other gimmicks. These are the interchangeable arms for the gun and the bow arm. Really cool. And then we also get the cape. And I think this cape is really well made. I like the shading. I like the weather. And yeah, it's got wired all around. Hopefully in the future they do this more, definitely. And yeah, I believe that's everything. And let's check out some action posing. And for the size comparison, let us start with some Dragon Ball S.H.Figuarts. And like I talked about earlier, I feel like he should be just a tiny bit bigger, maybe more muscular, but let me know in the comments on what you think. And then we have my favorite, the Naruto S.H.Figuarts. And then we have some One Piece and Chainsaw Man S.H.Figuarts. And then we have some JJK S.H.Figuarts. And then we have some Mafex and the S.H.Figuarts Venom. And lastly, we have some Figma figures, and let's jump straight into the final thoughts. Alright, so for the final thoughts, this one is very difficult for me to judge because I don't know the series personally. Well, I guess that makes me not biased, right? But anyways, as an action figure standpoint, it is very difficult to pose, but it is absolutely beautiful. I think that's what I'm trying to say here. But that's like due to the design, right? Because the sword is bound to be really heavy. Like the joints, there's no way for this joint to hold the sword. It is very dependent on the angles and stuff, so I do recommend for you to use a stage. But with a stage, it is a little bit annoying sometimes. I really don't like using stage, but yeah, given all these difficulties, I actually thought Tamashii Nations did a pretty good job. We have cloth goods and the paint job looks really nice. The figure just looks really good. I would say this is a display piece, but if you are someone who likes to pose with this figure a lot, you're gonna have some hard time with it, and it's just not fun. But yeah, I think that's it from me. Do let me know in the comments on what you think. And this is Eric. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.